If you're not a member of the Ionlands Discord server, then you may have missed the recent update to their FAQ post about Nivalis. Now, there's no breaking news here or anything, but there are some confirmations for questions people have been asking, and just some general stuff that's good to be aware of relating to specs and technical stuff. This page is still a work in progress, and the devs will of course be sharing a lot more about the game when the time comes, but for now, here's what we know. First, what is Nivalis? You probably already know if you clicked on this video, but if you don't, it's a unique cyberpunk slice of life sim where your life is yours to live. Grow your own business, meet friends, hop on your boat to go fishing, or just spend the time in your apartment and watch the world go by. The game will only be available on PC, at least at first, on Epic and Steam, and it's coming out in 2024. Ionlands did release their first game, Cloudpunk, on console and PC, but Nivalis seems to be much more involved and definitely has a larger scope, so PC is the main focus for the foreseeable future. Nivalis will only be playable in first person to help players experience the immense scale of the city and to truly feel immersed. I think this choice makes perfect sense. I know that when I played Cloudpunk, I only walked around in first person because it just looked way cooler, and I know a lot of other people did the same thing. If you aren't familiar at all with Cloudpunk, it takes place in the city of Nivalis, which is where this new game gets its name. And Nivalis will not be completely open world, but instead have separate areas or districts to explore, while other parts of the world will act as background environments. My guess is that we'll move between these different areas either by train or maybe fast travel, and then of course we also have the boat. And you can freely drive or pilot your boat through the ocean, much like your Hava in Cloudpunk. Though Nivalis won't have any drivable flying cars. Instead, you'll mostly be on the ground, managing your businesses, meeting new people, and customizing your apartment, some which even have their own balcony or terrace. Getting to know the citizens of Nivalis will be an important part of the game, and the way that you interact with them will affect what type of relationship you have, whether you're allies or enemies, and if it's more friendly or romantic. Everyone's favorite talking dog in Cloudpunk, the lovable Camus, will not be making an appearance, but there will be plenty of other weird and strange characters to meet, and definitely a lot of trouble to get into. Now, these characters aren't made with the same voxel style as the rest of the game because they found it would be too difficult to create this expressive type of movement they wanted, which they're currently using motion capture to nail down. Nivalis is expected to take up between 20 and 30 gigabytes of space, but they obviously can't confirm this yet. And Steam Deck and other handheld compatibility is being explored, but I think this is an experience you're probably going to want to see on as big a screen as possible. And it will support ultra-wide monitors, so I might have to pick one of those up in the next year. Wrapping things up, we have the estimated minimum and recommended specs to run the game, which I'm not going to read out to you. No internet connection is required to play, and no Mac or Linux support at the moment. Apparently, we are supposed to keep an eye out for some more information on ray tracing support sometime soon, so it most likely will be included, and other stuff like performance and fidelity modes, GeForce Now support, and other tech stuff is being explored. Modding is not a part of their current scope. And finally, the game's audio will only be available in English, but text translations will be in all these languages and potentially some others. So that was the big Nivalis FAQ update. Again, nothing groundbreaking, but it's always nice to hear from the developers of my most anticipated game. In case you missed it, I did make a pretty in-depth video when the game's most recent trailer came out back in June. I tried to cover everything we know so far about Nivalis, and will continue to put out smaller updates like this one whenever something slightly significant comes up in the news. So until the next update, I hope you have a great day, and maybe next time we'll meet in the clouds.